The Lake District is wild, wonderful and truly magnificent. It's home to England's highest peak and its deepest lake, and is now a World Heritage Site. It is an amazing landscape, and for the last 20 years it's been my home and my playground. I've had a lifetime travelling the planet, exploring the great outdoors, but nothing beats the lakes. In this episode, I'm in Eskdale, one of the most isolated parts of the Lake District. I'm loving this, so I'm giving it some love before we fire her up. I joined the people who run one of Britain's most spectacular railways. There's a little taste of the high life up on the fells. 3:30 on a beautiful morning, and with any luck, I'll be the first person on the top. And it's an early start as I climb England's highest mountain. Sunrise on the summit, and I've got it to myself. This is my Lake District. I'm about to set off on a hike with a difference, because there aren't many journeys where you can go from sea level to the highest point in England. I'm starting this trek on the Cumbrian coast at the small village of Ravenglass, before working my way through Eskdale to the top of the rugged summit of Scafell Pike. But before then, I'm going to stop off at one of the most impressive buildings in the northwest. Muncaster Castle has a bird of prey centre with daily flying displays. And of course, who doesn't love a barn owl or an eagle? But they're working hard to change hearts and minds about a creature that doesn't get a good press. Here he comes. Wow, hello Moriarty. Good to meet you. Moriarty is an African hooded vulture, one of nature's top-level scavengers. In the wild, these birds are facing extinction because poachers in Africa are poisoning them. They believe circling birds give the game away when the hunters kill an animal. So in captivity, it's all about replicating what Moriarty would do in the wild. And, this being the lakes, that involves hiding the carrion in a plastic sheep. Look at that. That's beautiful.
Hello. So what he'll probably do is pick off the easier bits on the top. So this is the point in the sheep. The sheep obviously has the holes cut into it, and it means that he not only has to use his body to work and get inside, but also has to use his brain as well, which is really important.
So this is about how they behave in the wild then. They'll pick off all the easy bits first.
Yeah.
You know, and Moriarty there, he picked up those nice little tidbits on the outside.
Yeah, I mean, for a vulture, for any vulture, all of the good juicy bits are going to be right on the inside.
Right.
So they've obviously got to work their way into a carcass.
Emma, you've got so many amazing birds here at Muncaster, but what is it about the vultures?
They are declining at a huge rate. These birds, we think, will be extinct in 10 years in the wild. The best way to get people to want to save these birds is by getting them to fall in love with them.
Exactly. Mutual admiration, right? Moriarty, what do you think? By raising awareness of the plight of these animals in this corner of the lakes, just maybe the tide can be turned to give Moriarty and his mates a much better chance. The birds help bring tourists to a part of the Lake District that's not as well known as other areas of the national park. But if you've come this far, it's worth checking out the castle too.
And you come, Paul.
Oh, yes.
Welcome to the castle itself.
Thank you.
It's a living, breathing, people often think these places are dead and buried in the past. No, this is very vibrant.
No kidding.
And it's just great fun to live here.
Its remote location has helped keep it in the hands of the same family for 800 years. It's had many advantages through the course of history, hasn't it, being remote?
Well, very much so. I mean, as you know, having spent so long on the fringes of the world, the best things always come from the edge, I think. Ruskin described the view out the window up Eskdale as gateway to paradise, which means you're almost in heaven, but you're not quite there yet, but you're just about there.
And being on the very edge of Britain meant Muncaster could play a vital role when the nation was in crisis.
During the Second World War, many stately homes were requisitioned by the government, and we were asked to look after part of the Tate Gallery. So, because we're so far flung.
With the country reeling from the Blitz, an imminent threat of German invasion, priceless works of art were dispersed across the country, with one consignment landing at nearby Ravenglass railway station.
They parcelled them up and they brought them up here, and they were scattered around the castle. We had the Blue Boy here, we had Van Gogh's sunflowers and various other things there.
Perfect location because it was safe.
Perfect.
It was a long way from London and other targets.
Yep. And what I found fascinating was no one said, look, this is top secret, don't tell anyone. They just knew a rural community, very tight-knit and close, and they wouldn't tell anyone, oh, you're not from around here, we're not telling any of our secrets.
Muncaster's secret is definitely out. But if you really want to get stuck into the interior of the Western Lakes, then head for this place, the Ravenglass and Eskdale Railway. It's one of the oldest narrow-gauge railways in the country and is known locally as Lal Ratty, or the Little Railway. It's been running for more than 140 years. Initially, the cargo was iron ore, but for quite a while it's been carrying tourists and connecting a very remote community.
Each year it carries thousands of holidaymakers right into the heart of some of the finest scenery in England.
And 5 steam engines still regularly run today.
Oh, look at this!
Train driver Anna Tilsley is getting her engine ready for a day out on the line. And today, I'm her enthusiastic and willing helper.
Right, what's first, Anne?
First things first, you've got to make sure you've got water in your tender. So you can see we've got a good level in there.
Oh yeah, there's water in there, yep.
So obviously you need plenty of that when you start making your steam first thing in the morning.
Okay.
Look on this gauge glass here.
Hang on.
You can see just there's a level of water. Shovel for you there.
Yeah, great.
Anna knows these machines like the back of her hand. And I just love getting stuck in.
You know how to look after me, Anna. Keep me busy. This was a surprise, furniture polish.
It works really well on the paintwork.
It's about the last thing I thought you were going to give me was some furniture polish. So it makes sense for me that I'm naturally excited about steam engines. You know, love this thing. But how about you? How did you get started?
I've grown up in the area, so I spent my childhood going up and down the trains and obviously absolutely loved it. And when I was at university, it got to the summer holidays and I thought, what am I going to do with 2 months with no study? My brother already volunteered here.
Oh, right.
So he kind of coerced me into joining him as a volunteer guard. So that got me into the railway as a whole, and the driving opportunity came up, and I thought, actually, I've got to go for that, because it'd be brilliant. So I did, I just never really left.
I'm loving this. So giving it some love before we fire her up.
I might be an oldie, but this is bringing out the kid in me.
Feed it in the fire.
This engine was built in 1894. It's actually the oldest working 15-inch gauge engine in the world. It's 100 years this month since it was delivered to the railway. And we're very pleased that she's still going as well as she was.
And even though it's given more than a century of service, this scaled-down engine is still working hard. There are 7 stations en route, and it takes 40 minutes to do the 7 miles from Ravenglass to Dalegarth. And on a day like this, it's simply stunning.
Just look at this. Through here you can see Anna and the engine, which, as we know, is a thing of beauty. And then beyond it is the whole of the Lake District opening up. You've got the sea on the left, the Lake District ahead, sunshine, the smell of the burning anthracite, a little bit of smoke. This is the way to travel.
I'm leaving the train at the end of the line at Dalegar. It's brought me into the heart of Eskdale, and from here I'm going to explore on foot. This valley might have looked very different if a large hydroelectric project had gone ahead in the 1940s. These days, the only water power is in the last remaining working mill in the Lake District. There's been a mill in Eskdale since the end of the 13th century, but it's likely that milling was going on here when the Romans were in charge. With wheels driven by water that's cascaded off the mountains at Scafell, this has to be the perfect place to grind grain.
A great spot, eh?
Eskdale is definitely off the beaten track, and it's also a challenging environment in more ways than one.
Peace, perfect peace. But how deceptive first impressions can be. For this is where hundreds of youngsters every year learn what tough living really means.
This grand house was the Outward Bound Trust's first centre in the Lakes. It opened in 1950 and offered adventure by learning in the great outdoors. It was a breath of fresh air for many young people growing up in post-war Britain. And on the first course was Leslie Jones, who worked for Cadbury's.
Coming up from Birmingham, which is busy,
Yes.
to Eskdale here in the remote Lake District, what did that feel like?
Well, almost another world. To see the mountains, to feel the isolation, and to somehow I almost felt part of it when I arrived.
Coming to this wilderness location was a shock to the system for many youngsters who'd grown up in cities. But the tough physical regime was designed so people could discover their inner strengths.
So during your time at the course, you kept a diary.
I kept a diary, yes.
Is it all right to have a look?
Yes, yes.
First period, athletics, lots of running. Second period, recovering from first period.
Oh, yes, that was essential.
It's a very good, honest diary, this.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
The Outward Bound movement attracted visitors from all over the world, including Edmund Hillary and the team that conquered Everest. In the 1950s, the net was widened and women were given the same access as men.
Ali, whenever you're ready, just make sure that Anusha pulls it nice and tight. There's a bit of slack to take it out.
More than 1 million young people have now been on Outward Bound courses. Many come from schools and colleges, others are apprentices, and I know exactly what they're going through.
I did a course just like this when I was doing my apprenticeship at Ford's, and it was the making of me. It opened the doors to exploration and adventure. So it's terrific to see these young ones here developing their own life skills in this remote corner of England.
For some young people, they're just blown away by the fact there's no street lighting, there's no mobile signal for a start, and then there's real animals wandering around the ground. So they'll see a sheep and they can't actually believe it's real. And then, of course, we'll immerse them straight into the great outdoors. And that's a real leveler for people and clearly very, very different to what they've come from.
Leslie Jones's Outward Bound course was more than 65 years ago, but he believes it had a big impact on his life.
Afterwards, I began to realise how much I had gained by the experience of in a way, leadership. Yeah. I felt that it had given me a sort of a self-reliance that I didn't have before.
Outward Bound has opened up the lakes to people from all over the country. But today's Lake District has another challenge: to get youngsters who live on the fringes of the national park to see it as theirs.
Hi, Adam. How you doing, mate?
Hi, Paul.
How's it going?
Yeah, it's all good.
What do you got going on?
Adam was living in Whitehaven on the Cumbrian coast. It's just a few miles from the hills and lakes. But initially, he didn't feel like he belonged in the Lake District.
It's quite hard for young people to get accessibility here in the Lake District, both in terms of transport links and infrastructure, but also the prices here. It can be really expensive, and I know from living in the Lake District, the cost of living, but also the cost of transport is really high.
But rather than leaving, Adam stayed and studied in the lakes. He's now been recruited as a Lake District champion, spreading the word to other young people in West Cumbria about what the national park has to offer.
It's really rewarding seeing my friends' faces light up and hear them say, I've never been here before, I didn't know this was here. I just knew it as that mountainous area over there. It's a bit shocking actually, but it's special as well because you're capturing that moment where they're first seeing it, and then you see that in their eyes that excitement, and they share it with their friends, and it's kind of like a knock-on effect.
Adam's living proof that if you have a stake in something, you're more likely to look after it. And if these green spaces are to be enjoyed for generations to come, then engaging with young people from every community is going to be key. In this secluded spot, sheep farming is the main industry, and farmer Andrew Harrison has brought some of his livestock off the fells for a shampoo and set. It's the day before the Eskdale show, the big get-together for farmers from across the Western Lakes. And with a bit of washing up liquid, these sheep are being spruced up.
Polishing up the sheep ready for a show feels surprisingly good, particularly when you sort of relax into it and as you wash them and get the soap in there and give them a bit of a massage on a sunny afternoon. You can tell they're not bothered by it at all. And it is satisfying getting them up. Look at that, look. Oh, these are beautiful. They're going to make you a show winner, mate. How's it going at the front end there, Andrew?
Oh yeah, not too bad. She looks like she's enjoying this, like. You get to show off your stock, you see, so everyone can see what you're breeding and how you've either bettered the flock or worsened it, whichever way.
Yeah.
People see the other farmers see the sheep at the show. They may go along to the ram sale, either of two, one at Broughton on Tuesday or one at Cockermouth on Saturday, and they might like a ram that you've had at the show, want to go and buy it at the auction.
So it's actually a very important business moment.
Bit of advertising, yeah.
Yeah.
Herdwick sheep are probably the toughest in Britain, able to withstand the cold and rain of the fells with little extra feeding. But the economics of upland farming are pretty hard too, with big differences in the price of ewes and rams.
How much are they worth, sheep like this, Andrew?
If I was to take this to a breeding sale,
yeah,
I might get 40 quid for it.
40 quid, yeah.
50
Heartbreaking.
quid. It is, yeah.
And the champions, the sort of championship prize winners?
Oh yeah, if it's a ram,
yep,
you'd be, yeah, a couple of thousand.
Couple of thousand quid, I'd pay. Wow, okay,
Yeah.
big money, yeah. There she goes, yay! Well, they look pretty good, don't they?
Yeah, they look pretty good then, Paul, yeah.
All we've got to do is teach them not to stick their heads in the mud tonight.
That's right, yeah.
Because they look so great. Well, it's fun to work with you, Andrew, and thanks very much.
No problem.
Good luck then. I'll see you there tomorrow.
All right.
They're all winners.
The next day, the folk of Eskdale have turned out for their annual show. And with the judging about to get underway down in the sheep pens, well, it's all getting a bit tense.
To me, it looks as if it's some pretty stiff competition. There's a lot of beautiful looking sheep.
There is a lot of good sheep here, yeah.
You know, I mean, I don't know anything about them, but it's not as if there's some that you think, oof, they look a bit scratty. I mean, everything looks world class.
Yeah, no, they are the tip-top sheep, yeah.
Andrew has a good track record, but the competition looks fierce, and the judge has a keen eye.
It's completely silent. You can cut the atmosphere with a knife. Just feel the tension. Good lad. He's got another second place. Here we go. That's 2 blue ribbons he's got. Nice one, Andrew. Well done, buddy. So on the technical side of judging these sheep, what specifically are you looking for?
Sheep wants to have a leg on every corner, preferably quite a bit of bone.
Right.
Nice foot on it, especially with the rams that we've just done. They want to have 2 firm testicles.
Right.
Bit of bristle round them.
Right.
Like to feel a good bit of hair on the legs, bit of hard hair, and a good stance. A sheep wants to rise to me, lift. You get the old dry look as if to say, well, why wasn't I higher up that order? But no, on the day, it's my decision, isn't it?
It's been a good day for Andrew, but no championship medals this time. In the show's 150-year history, there's been plenty of big moments. Author Beatrix Potter was a regular here, and in 1931, she even came first with her prized Herdwick sheep. I'm hoping I might be a winner too, and I've come prepared for one of the show's highlights, Cumberland wrestling. And local champion Paul Murray is going to show me the ropes.
Put your shoulder in.
Yeah.
And you just step back a little bit.
Yeah.
And you just swing.
It's a lot tougher than it looks, but I think I'm ready.
I'd like to sign up, please.
Yeah, okay. What group?
Adult, self-declared adult. So I've signed up here for all weights, which means I could get lucky and get someone pretty small, but equally I could get 20-stone monster. But I'll take my chances.
Cumberland wrestling looks chaotic, but there are strict rules. It's the best of 3 bouts, and you lose if you hit the ground first. The luck of the draw has seen me pitched against Paul Murray, and this time he won't be taking it easy on me.
Paul Murray and Paul draws.
That's me, I'm in. I've even dressed for the part, but it looks like I'm the only one who has. And after that quick defeat, it didn't get any better.
Well, there you go. I've done all kinds of things in my life. I've never been dumped so unceremoniously on my back by a 15-year-old before.
This show plays a vital role in the life of the community. But while the winners toast their success, it's time for me to head for England's highest mountain.
Exciting business. I'm off on a true local expedition. I'm off to the top of Scafell Pike. Now, I've been there before, but I've never camped. So tonight, I'm going to camp up there. I have everything I need in this bag. Small tent, sleeping bag, stove, food and fuel. Most importantly, lots of very good tea.
The hike from Eskdale is one of the least well-trodden routes to the summit. It's a good 10-mile round trip, and boy, is it spectacular.
You do get these amazing views and these fantastic pools, which on a hot day like this, I can imagine are pretty hard to resist.
And with the temperature in the high 20s, a dip is just what I need. People travel halfway around the globe for this kind of experience, but there's a little slice of paradise right here in the north of England. It's a long, hard slog, but if you follow the River Esk, the route opens up to the stunning plateau of Great Moss. But I haven't got the place to myself.
I do bump into a lot of walkers and runners here in the Lake District, but this man coming, John Fleetwood, he's a very special runner indeed. Hope it's John Fleetwood, he's still a long way away.
John is an endurance athlete who's designed an epic 170-mile long trail called the Lakeland Pilgrimage. The route takes in remote locations, places to stop, reflect and connect to the landscape.
People view a pilgrimage
as going to a holy place, going to Rome or going to Mecca, and they go to this building. And I thought, what's the Lake District got? It's got the mountains.
And, I look upon these places as they've got energy, they've got spirit.
And I talk about thin places, and that's where the distance between me and heaven, if you like, is much reduced. I think people experience it when they go to the mountain tops. They can't put it into words, but there's something about it. When you go up there for the sunrise or the sunset, there's just this feeling, isn't there? And I think most people feel it in their gut.
As I head for my overnight camping spot, I'm hoping the weather holds, so I can have one of those magical moments on the summit of Scafell Pike. But with the gradient ramping up, the going is getting tough. With the light fading, I've pitched my tent a few hundred metres below the summit. And as the temperature drops, I can look back on the hard miles I've done in the 5-hour journey that got me to this point. Time now for tea, supper and bed.
Wow, 3:30 on a beautiful morning, and with any luck, I'll have the top to myself.
With the twinkling lights of Sellafield and the west coast of Cumbria in the distance, there's less than an hour before the sun comes up.
Well, how's that for timing? I left the camp by beautiful moonlight, and I'm almost on the summit with the dawn to welcome me. Marvellous.
You don't get many days as beautiful as this in the lakes, so this is one I'm going to cherish.
Well, it doesn't get any better. Sunrise on the summit, and I've got it to myself.
People often talk about the majesty of the mountain. And with the sun illuminating these fells, I really understand what they mean. The Lake District is a special place for so many of us. For me, it's always been a place of leisure and adventure. But I'm also proud to call it my home.